In the dimly lit room of Malacanang Palace, Jose Rizal grapples with a decision that will reverberate throughout history.
The prison is immense, but I am equal to my conviction.
What a revealing portrayal of the internal struggle faced by Dr. Rizal. Now let's dive deeper into the controversy surrounding his retraction. That's right, Erica. Scholars have long debated the authenticity of Rizal's retraction. Some argue it was a sincere act while others claim it was coerced. Indeed, the historical context surrounding Rizal's decision is crucial to understanding its significance in the Philippine history.
Mom, I'm back from my history class and we talk about something really interesting today.
Oh, that sounds fascinating, anak. What did you learn?
We discussed the Rizal retraction, Mom. It's such a controversial topic, but we had deep dive into it.
Oh, yes. I remember reading about that in my own history classes. What did your professors say about it?
Well, it's a bit complicated. Some historians argue Rizal retraction was sincere act, while others believe it was caused by the Spanish authorities.
That's quite the debate. What do you think about it?
Honestly, Mom, I'm still processing it all, but I found it fascinating how Rizal retraction has shaped our understanding of the Philippine history and its legacy.
Well, it's definitely a topic worth exploring further. Understanding the context and motivations behind historical events like this can give us valuable insights into our past.
Exactly, Mom, and it's important for us to critically examine the narratives and question under dominant interpretation of history.
Alright, I just prepared dinner. I'll just call it dinner.
Thank you.
Welcome back, everyone. We hope you enjoyed the insightful scene. Now let's dive deeper into the controversy surrounding Rizal's retraction. Absolutely, Erica. The debate over Rizal's retraction has captured the attention of scholars and historians for decades. Was it a genuine act of faith or a political maneuver? That's the question of everyone's minds, Jenny. And it's a question that continues to fuel discussion and debates to this day. Definitely, Erica. The story and context surrounding Rizal's retraction is crucial in understanding its significance. It was a time of immense political turmoil and social upheaval in the Philippines. Exactly, Jen. Rizal's retraction occurred against the backdrop of Spanish colonial rule and growing resistance among Filipino nationalists. And let's not forget the role of the Catholic Church in all of this. The Church exerted significant influence over Filipino society at the time. Absolutely, Jenny. The pressure on Rizal to retract his belief must have been immense, considering the power wielded by both the Spanish authorities and the Church. But despite the controversy, one thing remains clear. Jose Rizal's legacy continues to inspire generations of Filipino up to this day. Jenny, and it's important for us to critically examine historical narratives and engage in meaningful discussion about our past.
Rizal's doubts in the Catholic Church, the publication of Rizal's two novels, The Noli Me Tangere and El Filibusterismo, made Rizal a target of the ire and persecution of the friars.
Clearly written in the page of these two novels where Rizal attacks the friars and the practices of the Catholic Church. He was declared an excommunicado, which means that he was expelled from the Catholic Church and thus he could not receive its sacraments.
In this novel, Noli Me Tangere, Rizal expresses doubts about the teachings of the Catholic Church of the salvation of mankind. And according to the argument on man's salvation, man is not an necessary part of creation, but an accidental aid.
So, Father Pablo Ramon, the former dean of Ateneo Municipal, and Father Federico Faura, teacher of Rizal, was trying to bring Rizal back to what then was the right path.
What the two priests believed to be the right path was not the right path for him.
Wow, a very controversial read.
Wow, what an interesting story. Yeah, right, Erica. Well, as a result, there's no proven efforts to persuade and convert that unfortunate fellow, prove and fail. See, and here it is. Rizal's safety. If he stayed in the Philippines, he advised him to leave the country of his own safety.
Oh, really? That's why, according to source, during his exile in Manila, Father Pablo Pastrells, head of the Jesus, requested Father Antonio Bach, parish priest of the Milan, to accommodate Rizal in his mission house. If Rizal would like to stay with him, Father Bach agreed. Colas write in his book.
According to Colas, that was written in his book, several strings were attached to the offer for Rizal to stay in the mission house. First, Rizal must retract publicly his errors on religion. Second, he must observe the religious practices of the church and make a general avowal of his past. And third, he must conduct himself in an explanatory manner when it comes to religion and to Spain.
But Rizal did not agree with the conditions set forth by Father Bach. He considered them as too heavy conditions in exchange for a short stay in the place of Father Bach.
The desire for Jesus headed by Father Pascal to bring back Rizal to the fold of the Catholic Church was too strong that he sent Father Francisco de Paula Sanchez, a former teacher of Rizal in Antonio Montavita. Colas looked at this vision of Father Sanchez as a way of trying to wean the conscience of the relapsed exile.
But why did they choose Father Sanchez to carry out this mission?
Because Colas said of this, if there was anyone capable of convincing Rizal, it was Father Sanchez. First, because Sanchez was not only a formidable master of rhetoric, but also of dialectics. And secondly, because Rizal was quite fond of him and would gladly give him the benefit of any doubt.
But Father Sanchez was also a failure in his mission. Ritana wrote that Rizal refused to believe the arguments of Father Sanchez by saying that he no longer believed the Eucharistic or ritual of the Catholic faith. Captain General Ricardo Carcinero, who had become a good friend of Rizal, also failed in his attempt to bring back the faith of Rizal of the Catholic Church. Father Pastels therefore decided to do the convincing of Rizal himself, right?
Yes, that's why Father Pascal came in. And according to Colas was an ardent man, infectious scholar. Surely, with his vast learning, Father Pascal should have no difficulty whatever in persuading Rizal to return to the fold and enjoy the inestimable pleasure of faith.
Thus started the exchanges of letters between Father Pastels and Rizal. Such exchanges of letters between the two lasted for 2 years, both of them presenting brilliant arguments on what they believed.
But again, Father Pastels proved himself a failure in convincing Rizal to return to his faith. Colas described this intellectual encounter between the two as, in a way, like a physical duel between David and Goliath. As in the biblical story, the Filipino David, with his sling of reason and his stone of logic vested the religious Goliath with his heavy, shining armor and spear of faith, adorned with Latin quotations. Critics outside clergy, including a number of foreigners, agree.
That's why Rizal was firm in his belief that there was abuses committed by the friars, that the religious did not preach the truth about Christianity, and that what the Filipino were abused through use of religion.
So now let's get to watch about the strength of Rizal conviction was tested with the coming of Josephine Bracken and the Tita. They fell in love with each other and Rizal wanted to marry her. But marriage was one of the sacraments which Rizal had been stripped of when he was excommunicated.
Mahal kong Josephine, ikaw ay aking nais na kasalan at maging aking kabiyak habang.
Ako'y lubos na nagagalak aking mahal na ako dining nais mo kasalan.
Ako'y pupunta muna kay Father Bach upang tayo ay kasal.
O siya, sige mahal, kayo mag-ingat.
Father Bach, ako'y may sasabihin sa'yo.
Ano yun, Rizal?
Nais kong papakasalan ang aking sinisinta na si Josephine.
Yan na nga. Kung gagawin mo ang iyong sinabi dapat sa iyong sinabi.
Siguro na sa aking pagtawag sa mga sinasabi mo sa Katolikong simbahan.
Josephine. He did not like to place her in a situation in which she would be the subject of ridicule of people because she was living in a land without the blessing of the church. Rizal made an appeal to Father Obak to marry them. However, Father Obak replied that they would only be married if Rizal would retract everything said against the Catholic Church. Driven by his strong desire to marry Josephine, Rizal prepared his own retraction version and sent it to Father Obak, which the later ignored. Thus, Rizal decided to forget about his plan of marrying Josephine, and they just lived together as husband and wife. They lived together happily for 4 years, and mindful of the unkind words of the people and the unceasing attacks of Father Obak in the pulpit.
What a very sad and interesting story. Yes, it is. But when and how the controversy on the retraction of Rizal start? So the retraction issue started with the publication of Ricana, claiming that he had a retraction document of Rizal. When this was published, Father Plopio came out with his own retraction document, which he claimed as the original. He had it published in an article entitled La Muerte Cristiana del Rizal, which he claimed he published to prove the Ricana's document was not original. That's why the issue became more confusing when Father Manuel Gracia revealed that he accidentally found the original retraction document among the files of the Archbishop. Are the Jesuits telling the truth about the retraction document of Rizal? If it is true that they have an original retraction document, why did it take them so long before they revealed about it? Why did it not immediately after the exhaustion of Rizal or even before he was executed? If Rizal really retracted, why did they allow his execution to push through? Why did they not do something to prevent it? In that case, let's watch this to finally answer your questions.
They were thinking that Rizal returned to the court of the community. It was true, but it was Rizal in most school of It was already out of office.
Yes, because he was undergoing law of Spanish government because of his family. He created a movement for his Spanish, and that's why he was not able to proper warrior.
But that's still unfair.
Rizal's name was entered in the list of those who died without repenting their sins. If he retracted, therefore, he repented from his sins. If he had sinned from the point of view of the Catholic Church, why was his name included in the list? And why are a third version of the retraction of the national hero? Which one is true? If he really retracted, that does reminisce once again at the attempts to bring back Rizal to the Catholic Church.
Padre Pablo Ramon, Federico Faura, Padre Paulo de Sanchez, and Padre Pablo Pastillos. These priests had soft spots in the heart of Rizal. They all tried their best with their brilliant argument to convince him to go back to the right path. No one of them succeeded. How come an ordinary priest in a person of Father Balaguer was able to convince Rizal to retract everything he had said against the church in so short a time left before his execution? And what did Father Balaguer use in convincing Rizal to retract? The simple threat of condemnation to hell. Kulas wrote of that threat which according to Father Balaguer he used. That threat, the most infamous and outrageous level of God, was coupled with the absorbed doctrine of exclusive salvation long exploded and rejected by European thinkers.
And we are the controllers.